Hi guys, I'm over at one of my favorite places while taking a walk. I haven't really been out that much because it's been so cold and I had COVID and everything. But here I am back at my favorite little pond. I wanted to do a video about the different seasons in our life. You know, the seasons we think about are winter, spring, summer, and fall. But when I look at this little lake or pond, I think about how I've made videos here for my channel in every season this past year, spring, summer, and fall. And this is my first video for the winter. And I'm thinking about how just this one little pond, it changes for each season. If you've seen some of my earlier videos while I'm over here, in the spring everything's green and the birds are singing and the water is running and clear and the sun is shining. In the summer it's also beautiful and I see turtles on logs and I hear the chirping of the birds and it's sunny and warm and beautiful, and I love it here in the summer. In the fall, it's gorgeous. The trees are full of bright, colorful orange, yellow, and red leaves, and you can see their reflection on the water, and it's amazing, and I love it here in the fall. And now here I am in the winter, and I'm looking around at this pond, and it's partially frozen. I don't know if I've ever actually seen it frozen like this. It's very cold, the trees are bare, but it's still beautiful in its own way. And I'm comparing this to the brain retraining journey. You know, every aspect of our journey is different, and it's important. Every different part of it is important. I'm thinking about how, for me, I'm coming up on 11 months since I started DNRS. I started February 1st last year, or this year, I should say, 2022. And so it's been almost 11 months for me. And in the beginning, the very beginning, the first few months, it was tough. I wasn't seeing too many results at all, except for I was seeing emotional changes right away. My mood was more elevated. I felt happier, more joyful more often. My moods were more stable. But other than that, I didn't see any physical changes at all. But I was told and taught that you may not see things for a long time because the symptoms are just a manifestation of what's going on in the brain. So you can't focus on the symptoms. So in the beginning, it's pretty tough because you don't see much at all. Then I remember when I got to the 6-month mark, I was so excited because those first 6 months I had committed myself to DNRS and brain retraining to be very, very diligent and to go by the book and to do my visualizations every day, my rounds for an hour a day, pretty much without fail, with a couple of exceptions, but really working the program hard for the first 6 months. Still not seeing a whole lot of changes in my symptoms, but definitely seeing improvement in more subtle ways. So now here I am, a different season. I'm coming up on a year. And I've had a couple of people ask me just in the past week or so, what has changed since the beginning, since you first started? Like, what symptoms are different? What main problems have changed? Well, for me, I still have quite a few symptoms. I still have a lot of things that I had in the very beginning. And I have to remind myself that I can't focus on the symptoms because the symptoms are just telling me that my brain still has a ways to go, that my nervous system still needs calming and redirecting. But in saying that, I do notice a lot of subtle changes. Well, first I'll mention some of the not so subtle changes. One of the biggest changes for me has been that my blood sugar has become stable. Before brain retraining, I had to eat like 2 or 3 hours all throughout the day, or I'd get bad symptoms. My blood sugar would drop rapidly a lot. I would have to eat in the evening and right before bed, and then I would often get up during the night in like a fight or flight panic attack, and I'd have to eat before I could go back to sleep. That's not happening anymore. I do occasionally have a little bout that feels like low blood sugar, but I think it's just my nervous system, if I'm stressed or something. But the blood sugar has become much more stable. The other thing, and this was a big one, this one changed pretty early on as well. When I started DNRS, one of the biggest issues I had, because I had recently fractured my spine, and that threw me into a deeper state of fight or flight. That was sticking with me. But early on in DNRS, after maybe a month or so, I don't remember exactly, but I definitely I got out of that really stuck place, because at that time I was having that wired, tired feeling all the time. And after I did DNRS for a while, my system started to calm down, and I was actually feeling more relaxed. Because when I started the program, I literally couldn't relax. I would sit on the couch and just be so exhausted but hyper, and I couldn't calm down enough to even take a little nap. And that changed early on, and still I do well with that. I don't feel like I'm in that hyper, wired, tired kind of thing. I get it occasionally if I'm stressed, if I push myself too much, but that has been much, much better. Some of the other things, I'm less sensitive to smells, I've noticed. It seems like I don't get as overstimulated as I used to when I'm around people. I have a lot more confidence and courage to actually challenge the foods and do the things that used to scare me enough that I just couldn't push past it. I just wouldn't try foods. So I feel like that shows that my nervous system is calmer, and my prefrontal cortex, my decision-making part of my brain, is definitely more willing to stand up and be stronger and to try the things that used to scare me too much for me to stop avoiding them. So I feel more confident. I feel more like myself, even though I do still have a lot of symptoms. I definitely feel more of a sense of who I really am. Little things like I'm noticing I'm not afraid to drink tap water, where I used to, like, I wouldn't even drink it if I went over to someone else's house. I'm drinking tap water. I don't feel as compelled to constantly wash my hands, or when I leave a store to, as soon as I get in my car, to wash my hands with sanitizer. So I'm less paranoid, I guess, about germs and everything being perfect, you know, like the water that I drink and all that. So I feel calmer, I guess, in that sense, my nervous system, because I'm not as hypervigilant about things that I used to be. I had hurt my foot years ago, and ever since then I've always been super, super careful and never would walk barefoot in my house, and I would always wear flip-flops and stuff. And over the past couple of months, that has changed too. I've been walking barefoot. I'm not as careful. I just don't feel as ramped up about everything as I used to. So that's a big change. I know there's more. I can't think of them all right now, but there have definitely been some deeper, more subtle changes that show that my brain is changing and that my nervous system is calming down, even though I still react to things. But even with the reactions, the foods and stuff, yes, I'm reacting, I'm feeling them, but I'm dealing with them different. I'm trying to implement, you know, what I've learned, that we need to not focus on the symptoms. We need to relax into them, respond to them differently, not freak out, not get scared, not go into fight or flight, but be calmer and show our brain that it's not a threat, I'm not in danger, it's okay, I can eat this, or I can go here, or I can do this or that when we're having symptoms. So definitely better at doing that, but not free of symptoms. I still have a ways to go, but there definitely has been improvement. So I hope this encourages you guys. You know, some people can get well a lot faster than others. I've probably done some things wrong, I'm sure I have, but it's my own journey, just like your journey is your journey. So there needs to not be a time frame on it. It'll take as long as it takes, right? So we need to be patient. And remember, there's nothing wrong with us. It's just our brains are in that fight or flight, in that fear mode, wanting to protect us, and they're still perceiving danger. So we just need to keep reminding them we're fine, we're safe, we're okay, and to learn to be in that calm state more often. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.